from where we left off. What you need to do is you need to even up your edges, which it's felt. You're not going to have exactly even edges because felt is cut in bulk. That being said, the blades that cut them aren't going to have precise straight lines. And also, like I told you in the last video, felt can be stretched. You can get felt at Walmart. They're the foot sections. That's actually where I got these things. They come in foot squares or rectangles because they're not squares. Anyways, they come in foot rectangles. And like I said, people are pulling on them, pulling them out, everything. They're gonna stretch. They're not gonna be even. They're not gonna be straight sides. You're not gonna get a perfect even lineup. This is coming from someone with severe OCD, so that's something. So for those of you who are watching this video and doing this tutorial who have OCD, it's okay. I am one of you. I feel your pain. I don't know how many times while sewing these itty bitty pieces together, I was sitting there going like, no, you have to be aligned like this. No, stay like this. That was the table, by the way, not me. Anyways, sometimes I wonder how I ever get through a sewing project. I'm like, how do I do this? But anyways, you want to align the edges as best you can because like I said, felt stretches, it moves, it has a mind of its own. And it can get severe static electricity. Like, oh my gosh, it can get severe static electricity. You want to pen it how we did the other pieces, about 1.5 inches to 1 inch from the edge, which that's the wrong way, Kristen. That's the wrong way. You can't sew that way. Well, you can, but you can't pull the pins out if you got to. Anyways, I apologize for the messy craft room. I'm in the midst of making cosplay outfits for FairyCon in November for me, my mom, and my sister. And also I have 2 cats and a dog. And a husband who sometimes I wonder if he's been possessed by a 2-year-old spirit. But anyways, so you just want to do this, and for those of you who are hand stitching, you might want to do, instead of like just your regular like stitch, you might want to do a locking stitch. That way it actually can hold up to the cat jumping, pouncing, climbing in and off, on and off the pillow bed. Because if you do just your regular single stitch, it might eventually it will, but it might hold up depending on the cat, the energy level of the cat, the dexterity of the cat, and everything. It might hold up, but then again, it might not. For a second, I thought I had the position wrong. Every seamstress's nightmare, sewing the pieces of fabric together wrong, because then you have to undo all the stitches by hand and re-sew it. That is like the worst thing ever. Like, oh my gosh, I actually had to do that. There's a skirt that I'm remodifying for a cosplay piece for one of my outfits. I had to unstitch a couple of the seams, and it was a double line skirt from like the from like the 70s, 80s. And I'm sitting here with my seam ripper going, ow, 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 it hurts, ow, my fingers. But no, what you want to do is you want to have it part in the like diagonal line, but anyways, you want to have it like this. And then you're just going to sew it, and you kind of want to sew the edging like this. That way you're not using up too much space, but you're using up enough space. And somehow, throughout my sewing and everything, I completely got measurements all kinds of wacky. And I don't know how, I don't know what I did, but it happened. I'm like, okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But anyways, so you just want to go around, and you want to leave about a hole as big as your hand. My thing is, I like to leave a hole as big as my hand, so I can stuff it in. With the cat bed, my cats aren't really big on, they're not really big on a lot of like the squishy, so I just want enough to where it has some padding, but I don't want a lot of padding. So I at least need enough so I can stick my hand in there. That sounded so bad. Stick my hand in there and even it out just enough to get like a thin layer on the bottom. But like I said, my go-to tip for when stuffing at least a big project like this, about the size, a hole about the size of your hand, maybe a little smaller, not bigger, smaller. And if you're doing a pillow smaller, which I'll probably end up doing a tutorial for a smaller pillow because I made another box. I made it out of a Build-A-Bear box. Anyways, I may end up making a pillow for that box because it's just hard and I feel bad for them. I'm like, this is so hard. I may end up that is a really big pin. Look at that. It's like huge. So anyways, that is huge. Look at this. Like, compared to my other one, it's like freaking huge. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, now I gotta put this back. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, but I'll probably end up making a video tutorial for a smaller pillow. I'll probably end up using, instead of felt, like actual, some fabric I have somewhere in my treasure trove of fabrics. Those totes back there, they're fabric. That closet, it has fabric in it. And other things. But anyways. But like I said, you want to leave you want to make sure that when you're pinning, you are actually when you're pinning, you want to make sure that you have like, if you have extra like trim, you might want to either use chalk to measure it off or trim it off, but be careful if you trim it off because like I said, you are sewing. Felt moves. So if you trim it off, which you may not want to trim it off till afterwards, so use chalk to mark the top, because if underneath is less than on top and on top's more, as in like, see how this is protruding more than on the bottom right here. Say it was this way, so where this was all this, and then you underneath was less than on top. Use chalk to mark your line where the underneath part is. That way when you're pinning, you don't over pin and then over sew. That's if you're using a sewing machine. You can do that if you're hand sewing, but usually when you're hand sewing, you can like move it around and see what you're doing. But anyways, well, I'm gonna get off here real quick. Yeah, I can fit in one more. I'm gonna get off here real quick and sew this, and then I'll be right back. Ooh, almost stabbed myself. That would have been bad, so painful. I'm gonna get off here real quick and sew this real quick, and then I'll be right back to show y'all how to finish this up. See y'all soon. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, after you're done sewing, for those of you who want to leave the bedding like this with the scruffy parts like this, Don't do what we're about to do next. Leave it as it is now. Just leave it as it is. For those of you who want the smooth edges, where you don't have these sticking up and whatnot, you're gonna do this next part. You may need like a chopstick or a pencil. And if you use a pencil, use the eraser part. What you wanna do, reach your arm in the hole. This is why I told you to have a hole that's about the size of your hand, or maybe a little smaller. You wanna reach down to the here's the hole, right? You want to reach down to this corner, the opposite corner. Reach your arm in. Push this corner in, because see how you have, I left about an inch from the seam? You want to do that because that'll make it a lot easier for you to actually pull the seams out. Not pull the seams out, but like pull it out and whatnot. But use your fingers and gently, because you don't want to rip the seams, gently pull the pieces out. And as you go, poke the corners out. Like I said, you don't have to do the patchworking, the patchwork tiles that I did. Honestly, I just kind of eyeballed it all. You can do, heck, if you even like really want to try and get creative, you could probably even make like circle patterns, or you could do solids, like a solid color. Because like I said, they sell bigger pieces of felt, and you can even do this. You don't have to do this with felt. You can actually do this with fabric. But like I said earlier, I'll probably make another tutorial for the other box I made with a a smaller pillow, but with regular fabric, of which, even though it's a smaller pillow, you can do the same thing. You just remember, always measure first. You have to measure. I don't always do that. Then again, I'm me, so I kind of eyeball everything. But anyways, okay, the next step. This is when you're gonna need your catnip. He's sitting behind me. Let's see. He's like right there. They just ate dinner. They came in and were like, "Feed me now." I'm like, "Oh crap." We have to double bag the catnip. This is when you're gonna need the catnip. You're not getting any, no. You're gonna need this, and you're gonna need some of this. What you wanna do is, pardon. And for those of you who are wondering about my t-shirt, which some of you may not be, you may. Yes, it is a baby toothless. It's a baby toothless dragon. Before he lost his tail piece. See? So anyways, no, you're not getting any. I don't care. You can show me your fangs all you want. You're not getting any. He yawned. He's like, I'm like, no. Okay. Sorry, my ear. You want to take your fluff. You want to take your fluff. Okay, for those of you, first off, for those of you who don't want to make a huge mess, you shouldn't be doing this on your carpet, especially if you have cats. That's just dangerous, and that's just wanting to be attacked. You shouldn't be doing this on your carpet. You shouldn't be doing this on the floor. You should be doing this at a safe, controlled area, i.e. a table with a chair. For those of you who don't want to make a mess on your table, you might want to use a bowl. I didn't think ahead. Well, I did, but I'm just kind of, I'm like, I don't need a bowl, whatever. But anyways, you might want to use a bowl. Get a bowl, put your fluff in it, and use however much fluff you want. Same with the catnip. But for your sanity and the cats, each cat's different. My cats, Iggy goes insane. The dog even goes insane. Onyx, well, no, Iggy doesn't really go insane. Iggy doesn't really go insane. Iggy kind of goes, okay, well, Iggy doesn't really go insane. She looks like a stoner, I guess. She gets really mellow and like, whoa, dude, what's up? Onyx goes batshit crazy. Anyways, okay. You're gonna pour it in your hand, because a lot of times catnip, when you get it in the store, it's really big pieces. See? It's really big pieces. I don't know if you can, like, it's not gonna focus. But anyways, as I spill it everywhere. For those of you that don't know, or have never seen an actual catnip plant, Google it. Catnip is, if I remember correctly, it's in the mint family. Like, mint's a plant too. It's very medicinal. It can actually be used in medicine for humans too. And it's actually very calming. It's literally like marijuana. It's like marijuana for cats. But anyways, what you want to do is you want to take it, like, grind it between your fingers and sprinkle it on the fluff. Oh, and one thing you also might want to do is take your fluff and put it on the casing. Because then you'll get, like, the catnip pieces when you grind it up on the casing, and it'll better infuse. Okay. Then you want to go and you want to do this. You want to, like, blend it in. He's sitting down there going like, dude, what's up? I smell it. Like, I smell it. I want some. He's like, I want it. Now he's rubbing on my feet like, give me the good stuff. Get off my lap. Get down. Okay, so you just kind of like mix it in. And it'll get like everywhere because it's catnip pieces. So kind of do that. Here. And like I said, I don't want to make it actually like poofy. So I'm just going to take little bits, kind of like flatten it. And just not make a mess with catnip all over the place. At least try not to. I just want to make sure I get enough everywhere. I wish you guys could see this. Like, this is hilarious. He's sitting there like sniffing the air, trying to be like, I smell it. Where's it at? You're not sharing. Another thing, if you have like a craft room or something, you might want to like shut the door or barricade the cat somewhere, or yourself. But what you want to do is like, well, what I'm doing is I'm just patting down the fluff to make an even layer on the bottom. Iggy just joined us. She smelled the numbers. The good stuff. I'm being surrounded by the flock. Oh crap, it fell. I just found one of the doohickeys off of something I was looking for earlier from one of the pieces I'm using for the cosplay. I was like, crap, where did that go? And then I just found it on the floor. It's like I can't stand carpet, but sadly, we're kind of sort of, I guess you would say, renting the house. Like I said earlier, my husband's military, so we live on base, and we can't exactly rip up base housing carpet just because I don't like it. That's a big no-no. Okay, when it's all done, I'm gonna put the catnip up because I have Iggy, I have Onyx, and they're both looking at me like, give me the goods. And I sprinkled some on there. I sprinkled some on that I had on my hand. I don't like that. And he got the catnip dust all over his face. And Onyx's box, he had like little green powder shit on it. Oh, green powder stuff on his face. I'm like, you got stuff on your face. Anyways, and once it's done, you have like catnip speckles all over the bed. Mine looks like this. Maybe. It's like that. Like little big layer of stuffings. Okay. You can hand stitch it if you want afterwards, like when you're done. But I'm lazy, so. And I have this thing. I have this. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, for those of you, excuse me, who are using a sewing machine, I have a brother. Let me see. I have a brother. It's the Runway edition, limited edition. I was using number 3. And it has the J foot. I don't know if any of y'all have a sewing machine or use a sewing machine, but if you do, you know what sewing machine I have and what setting I used to sew. That's the setting I used to sew all the pieces. I used that to sew the patchwork pieces. I used that to sew these pieces together. I used it to sew all the pieces together. That's the setting I used for all of it. It's the zigzag. I use that because it holds it together and it's more close knit and it has more, and also it looks really cool. Look, it looks really cool. Like, look at that. I don't know why my camera's not focusing. But no, and then the straight one, for simple things it would be fine, but my cat's having that one and then having that one, the simple stitch, I'm afraid it wouldn't hold, so I went ahead and did the zigzag so it'll hold better and it's more durability. But anyways, well, I'm gonna let you go real quick and I'm gonna sew this up and I'll be right back and we'll finish up this video and be on our ways. Okay guys, we're back. Okay, so we're almost done. Now it's like okay, well, we're done with the pillow. Okay, so you are gonna have the smooth edge and then this, which you can trim it, which I'm actually gonna do that right now, as the cat behind me is going crazy. If you're that random person like I am that pays attention to detail and you're wondering why I just changed scissors, these are my little baby fiskars. These I use. Sorry, I think I got a cat. Oh my god, gosh. I got a piece of catnip on my nose. Oh my god. Oh. I'm sorry. Anyways, wow. These are like trimming threads off, and when I'm hand stitching and I have to like snip stuff. These are my big fiskars for fabric and everything, because my mom stole. I swear she stole them. She just said she lost them because she wanted them. My black and orange fiskars I had, they were like flat on the top and they had a handle on the bottom and they're like that. So she got me these. It was a set because she lost my other fiskars. They're like $30. So mad. I was so mad. I was like, you lost my fiskars. Yeah, she lost them when she was making one of the dresses for my wedding. I was like, that's not nice. Anyways, back to the pointed task. Okay, so the very last step is inserting the bed into the box/bed. Okay, so with the box, my favorite crafting material besides needle and thread is hot glue. Like, I love hot glue. It's effective, quick and easy, burns like a son of a gun if you get yourself with it. Like, oh my god, this stuff is really hot. But anyways, this is the box I made. It has front hole, side holes, a side hole, that the fabric's like super glue, a back hole, which I decided to go ahead and leave the fabric loose so they have like stuff to play with, and another side hole. We're going to very carefully insert this into this very carefully. So what you want to do is you want to fold it and put it in. And then you kind of want to see, kind of want to even it out. See what I mean by measure? You want to make sure you measure, because they'll be fine with it. There's about an inch on one side and the bottom. That's like cardboard. But they'll be fine. They'll be fine. But see, there's the finished piece. And then, because my family's really geeky and we like having things that symbolizes throughout the house, my cats are very stinky. When they fart, I mean, they are like extremely stinky. So, we use, for those of y'all who haven't actually watched one of those videos, how to make like a cat tent, you take a box, what I did is I had a bigger box, so I taped the whole box up, and I put the t-shirt on it, and I cut holes. As you saw, I cut holes with an X-Acto knife here, and then, oops, sorry, I put y'all upside down, and then here. And then I cut holes on the sides where the sleeves are, and then I just hot glued the sleeves, like rolled the sleeves and hot glued them so they have like things they can poke through. But anyways, back to the stinky part. My cats are so stinky. Like when they eat something or get really excited or asleep and just let one loose, they're so stinky. So my husband had a shirt that he had put in the yard sale pile that he came home and he was like, what is that? I was like, that's the box I made for the cats. He was like, but I like that shirt. But you put it in the yard sale stuff. Oh, okay. It has a gas mask. I thought that was so perfect. I was like, yes, I'm using this. I know what to do with this. But anyways, so that was the tutorial. Sorry, it got dark. Anyways, that was the tutorial for the Catnip Infused felt pillow for the cats. And a brief description on how to make a tent box or shirt box or whatever you want to call it. Hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. See y'all later. Bye.